The New England Patriots are 2-0. Well, we did have some. For those celebrating Yom Kippur, have an easy day. For all of us here at NFL Primetime, for Tom Jackson, I'm Chris Berman. Thanks for watching. Actually, for the first time since the snow playoff game against Oakland, they were actually favored. Hello! They're playing the way. Paul Revere, Nathan Hale, John Adams, Samuel Adams, with a brew, obviously. Do not fire until you see the whites in their eyes. Well, Kansas City's Trent Green did some firing, and Eddie Kennison touchdown. Wait a minute now. Kansas City's coming into Gillette Stadium and leads the champs 10-0, and here's part of the reason, Tom.
Yeah, and Priest Holmes, what a great runner he is around the corner here. Great combination of speed and power, and he runs with some attitude. There you see him not going out of bounds.
2 plays later, it's Trent Green to Priest Holmes, 17-9. Kansas City in the early third, an upset brewing in Foxborough until Troy Brown
ran the renown
gets involved.
Yeah, you start watching these plays. Great play between Brady and Troy Brown. Most of these passes just outside the pro hash mark. Here again, down the hash mark, and once you set that up, then you get Troy Brown going outside here from the slot position. And again, look at him get the yardage. Tough little receiver, great receiver for the New England Patriots.
Well, at this point, he's got 6 catches, so on his way to a pretty decent day. It would be a record-breaking day. Brady hangs in, and he hits Troy Brown for a touchdown. They go for 2, make it 17 all in the third. Last minute, third quarter, Brady stands in, gets popped, but oh, does this pay off to Brown? He could go a lot of the way. 38 yards, and he keeps finding Brown, setting up a touchdown, 24-17. P-Man. 16 for 176, a new Patriots record. What a day for Troy Brown. But Brady says, you know what, David Patton? What? Turns on a dime at the 22, and this speedster's gone. So New England now early fourth, now where they should be, up by 14, 31-17. But Kansas City would have none of it. Trent Green, Eddie Kennison, touchdown, 31-24. What's going on here in this fourth quarter? A little over 6 to go. Patriots just in the Chiefs' territory. Antoine Smith. So you saw the guys 2 it by air? Well, it's 1 it by land. Antoine Smith, 42 yards, and the Patriots regain a 2-touchdown lead, 38-24. Under 5 to go. Kansas City driving. Priest Holmes. Man, is that a power run to the pylon? 38-31. Minute and a half to go. Chiefs with the ball again. Now, Tony Gonzalez has been shut out for the first 58 minutes of this game. But he makes a catch in traffic there. And then under a minute to go. 3rd and 5. Green needs to keep it going. And he finds Dante Hall down to the 9. Out of bounds. Although they rule, the forward progress was still in. So tick, tick, tick. Green, Eddie Kennison to the 1. Timeout, Kansas City with 3 seconds to go. Only 1 shot. I'm going to get the league-leading rusher. Look at the spin and the power by Priest Holmes. Touchdown. We're going to overtime to Dick Vermeil. The flip goes to the Patriots. They win the toss. And they would never give up the ball. Brady, Patton, makes a great move and picks up 22 yards out of the 22. There's no snow. It's a perfect day with the game on the line. You tell me if Adam Vinatieri's going to make it. Tom, that was good even through like the 2
arena football goalposts.
Good. He's perfect this year. Dick Vermeil was valiant in a 42-point fourth quarter. Each team with 3 touchdowns. But the P-men win it by the count of 41-38. We told you about the Patriots record for Troy Brown, 16 for 176. How about Priest Holmes, 30 carries for 180. And another note, as New England now has won 12 in a row, Tom Brady this year, 410 today, has already thrown for 973 yards.
Yeah, and he's getting some great balance from the running game as well.
Well, speaking of balance, the New York football Jets figure they beat Miami 8 straight times. Vinny Testaverde figuring, okay, we've got this going, but balance, that would be the Miami Dolphins. Sean Wooden picks off Vinny early, and it's an apparent touchdown, but it's ruled Tom down by contact at the 26.
Yeah, and first play after the turnover, you see Noah Turner there, the offensive coordinator. They're going to set the tone with Ricky Williams right up the middle of the football field. He explodes for 16 yards and immediately puts that Jet defense back on its heels. Next play, Jay Fiedler, Randy McMichael, the rookie out of Georgia. There for a 10-yard touchdown. Boy, do they have weapons everywhere you look.
That's the young tight end. It's 10-0. Tom, and now Fiedler to a Rondé Gaston. You want to watch this? Oh, man! He's done in the infield better than any Marlins played all year, that's for sure. Look at this grab. Well, Rondé Gaston. It deserves several looks. Every one of their skill players, my goodness, just excelled today. Here's Zach.
And get a little defense. Zach Thomas there under the arrow, and look at him do what he does best. Run into that football, beating the running back to the perimeter. What a great day they had. Curtis Martin held a 43 yards rushing today.
My favorite Martin, only 43, then Fiedler to McMichaels. And this at 16-3 on 3rd and 6. McMichaels keeps the drive going. And boy, would it pay off. It still was a game on the scoreboard, even though the Dolphins had their way with the Jets. So after that first down, now here's the next play. Ricky Williams, he's gone, game's gone. 53 yards. 24 of 151 for Ricky on the day. Dave wants that. And the Dolphins slice and dice the Jets, say goodbye to that 8-game losing streak to the Jets. Say hello to 17 straight home wins in the month of September. That's over 9 years. And say hello to the first 100-yard rushing performance in 3 straight games ever by a Dolphin back. No Zonka, no Morris, no kick, but Ricky Williams does it. And oh, by the way, the defense gave up just 3, right, Zach Thomas?
It was nice, man. It's about time, get all those Jets fans off our back. Get them off our back, get the media off our back. I was hoping one of their fans would come out here and jump on Wanstead like the Kansas City game. I would have been all over them, too.
Primetime, the Colts at the Texans, and that means Dom Capers. Their undefeated lifetime at Reliance Stadium. All right, so they're 1-0. But Peyton Manning to Condre Ismail. Hats off to Peyton, 7-0 Colts, and wide open, Tom.
Yeah, Eric Brown's the safety right there. He's got half the football field to deal with. He's going to be eyeing the tight end as he comes down inside the numbers. Marcus Coleman outside against Condre Ismail. Gets no help. Burned for a touchdown.
Well, that's the way this game went. Here's Manning complete to former Patriot Jermaine Wiggins from
East Boston.
And it's recovered by Marcus
Coleman.
And it's the Texans' ball. Then, 2 plays later, David Carr to Rod Rutledge. And what happens here? Idris Bashir falls interception, and it's the Colts' ball. With the score 13-3 Indianapolis 4th quarter, Manning to Ishmael, and the missile scuds it. It's a fumble. Jerry Walker has it for Houston. So the Texans driving in Colt territory, Tom, and then what?
Well, watch Chad Bradsky here. Opposite the football. You eye the football, stay as deep as the ball, see the reverses when they come around, drops that one for an 11-yard loss.
2nd and 21. You really want to run off tackle. Jonathan Wells, a 1-yard loss. The Texans punt. And then the next Colt possession, Manning from the stately Wayne Manor with Alfred the Butler. Reggie Wayne. Oh, and even that's deflected. Reggie Wayne, a touchdown, 20-3 Colts, and it's off the hands of Marcus Coleman. What happened, Tom?
Well, right there, Marcus Coleman gets the tip on the ball, but great awareness by Reggie Wayne to know where he was, take that football, take it back inside, get to the end zone.
Well, that's another one of those long line of divisional rivalry games of the AFC South. Indianapolis and Houston have had a long history of playing these grudge matches. Well, I'm kidding, of course. And the Colts go to 2-1, and they beat the Texans 23-3 Peyton, 21 of 28 for 272. Browns, Titans. Now, these teams now not in the same division, but they know each other, and they know that Tim Couch is going to get his first start of the year. Kelly Holcomb filled in mightily for him. But Couch says, I'm back, and Andre Davis, yeah, he's back in the back of the end zone. Couch 5 for 5 on the drive, 7-0 Cleveland, and Holcomb and Couch talk about it. 7-7 second quarter. Fumble Willie Green, but a late hit penalty keeps it alive. And Steve McNair, he also was playing hurt to John Ryman Simon, or Simple Simon. It's 14-7. Now, what's Simon doing here, Tom?
Well, Simon's going to come out of the back, so you can see the linebacker look the wrong way. That's just a basic missed assignment. He goes down the scene for a score.
3 minutes left in the half. Couch picked up by Andre Dyson, who slices and Dyson's his way into the end zone. It's 21-7 Tennessee. Titans punting 3rd quarter. Dennis Northcutt, it became his half and OT, didn't it? Look at Northcutt making a north cut and a south cut and an east cut and a west cut, and he's gone. 76 yards. Butch, keep the visor on, Butch. Keep it on. And it's 21-14. Then Northcutt receiving. Oh no! He giveth, he taketh away. Mike Green recovers the Northcutt fumble. to the Titans in business. Steve McNair, Kevin Dyson, touchdown. Each Dyson with a touchdown. 28-14 Tennessee in the driver's seat at 5 minutes to go. But can Tim Couch bring him back? A couple of clutch plays here. This is Kevin Johnson. Where's the coverage, Tom? 21 yards. 3rd and 9. Couch to Quincy Morgan.
Make a tackle.
Please. The tackling of Tennessee atrocious. First down, 2:41 to go. Browns down to the 12. Couch. Andre Davis, touchdown. Nice throw at 28-21. No timeouts left. Cleveland, onside kick. And not only did they get it, they picked up 30 yards. And who is it? Dennis Northcutt. What a play. They appealed it, or they reviewed it, but it was invalid.
Well, Browns line up as if they're going to kick the onside kick to the right where they have all their players. They bring it back to the left where they have only 2 players. Northcutt, great kick, and a great job of getting down and getting your football staying in bounds.
The people in Buffalo saying the Music City Miracle going to come back to haunt you. 3rd and 11. Counts Andre Davis. It's a first down. 18 seconds to go. Remember, they need a touch. Counts to Dennis Northcutt. Where is Mike Eccles? What's going on with that tackling?
Tackle somebody.
It's a touchdown. We're tied at 28. We go to overtime. Browns win the toss. Can Couch pull it off? Couch to Davis. Yeah, they're both in. 31-yard game beating Eccles. Setting up 33-yard field goal. Phil Dawson. Right down the pipe. So Tennessee, which came from 14 down to win their home opener, now blows a 14-point lead with 5 minutes to go. Now you can take the helmets off. It's no problem. And the Browns beat Tennessee 31-28. Couch throwing 50 passes, completing 36 of them for 326. An impressive performance for Couch, who proved everyone, hey, this really is my job.
Well, and I think we thought he'd feel a little pressure behind the way Kelly Holcomb has played, so a great day for him. I think a feel-good moment for this football team, and only a helmet toss away from being undefeated.
The 2-0 Carolina Panthers against Governor Ventura, I guess, and the Minnesota Vikings, who are 0-2. Dante Culpepper looking for Randy Moss. And it's Mike Minter. After dinner, Minter. It's very early to put that on the pillow, but he makes the pick. Next possession. Here's Culpepper looking for Moss again. Over his head, Deion Grant. Was it really over his head, Tom?
Well, we'll take another look at it, and certainly it's a pass that looks like it was a little bit overthrown, but you have to see it from Dante Culpepper's perspective. He thinks it's a ball, obviously, that Randy Moss should have gone for.
So the Vikings leading 7-0 in the third. Culpepper. Now, this time Moss helps him out with a big block on Mark Fields, who feels like he's on Strawberry Fields as you look at it again. And boom. And so Minnesota's still in business. Culpepper looking for Moss later in the third. Remember, they still lead this thing 7-0 late third. And, off one hand of Moss into the hands of Deion Grant.
And again, you have to see it from Dante Culpepper's perspective. You go up with 2 hands, you try to catch the football, you prevent the interception, and you can see right there the reaction of the quarterback.
Well, the coach knows. He's just step back. Moss doesn't even give him an ear. Not a pretty scene on the Viking sideline. Lamar Smith made the scene worse when he breaks a 7-7 tie and gives the Panthers a 14-7 lead. Lamar Smith made him even worse when he breaks open a 14-7 game and makes it 21-7. 30 carries, buck 54 for John Fox and Lamar Smith. Fox, timeout. With 8 seconds to go, tries for a field goal up 21-14. John Hilbert misses the kick. They would have turned it over on downs anyway, so Minnesota gets one last chance because they're still down by 7. But you got to throw this, 80 yards? Almost impossible. What do you do?
Knock it down!
Or catch.
Or intercepted.
Deion Grant makes the play. The Carolina Panthers. The Carolina Panthers are 3-0 as they beat the Vikings 21-14. The Vikings themselves are 0-3 and not looking not only not impressive excitement back, and this guy has had so much excitement. Emmitt Smith, not the rushing record online today, but Emmitt has a chance to break another record. More on that in a moment. Reggie Swinton and And of all things, the Philadelphia Eagles, this is David Greenacres is not the place to be. The chores. Reggie Swinton, it's a touchdown. The Eagles have given up 2 returns. Their special teams usually as good as there is in football. So the Eagles find themselves down 10-3. I don't think they can come back, Tom. All right, I'm kidding. McNabb to James Thrash, and a ball that was very
Jeff Blakish.
good because it went out of the screen. And then it's Emmett Smith. Emmett just needs a handful of carries to become the most carrying back in the history of the NFL. Here he runs for 7 yards, and here's more Emmett.
Yeah, Emmett Smith again, a nice little cut out there outside to pick up 4. You know, it's still tough to bring him down, and this is the one that ties the record for most carries by a running back in the history of the NFL, 3,838.
And he passes to Gray Walter, and look, it's not going to be on a great rush, but now he has more carries than anyone else. He's now rushed 3,844 times. And you add them all, that ball goes away. You add up receptions, playoff rushes, playoff receptions. How many touches? 4,714. My goodness. Meanwhile, Donovan McNabb is in business. To Antonio Freeman, the one-time Packer, now excelling early with Philly. 59 yards, 27-10 Philly. Late in the third, McNabb to Maxwell Award winner Brian Westbrook, the rookie. Fires to Todd Pinkston. Touchdown. And the Eagles, boy, after an opening loss, here's Philly clobbering Washington and clobbering Dallas in their division. A pretty good 7-day span for Andy Reid and the Eagles, winning 44-13. Brad Jaworski with Antonio Freeman.
You play with a great quarterback in Green Bay in Brett Favre. He can make plays in the pocket and outside of the pocket. Donovan's the same kind of guy. Can you compare both of them?
You can't compare 7 years with 3 weeks. But when I watch Donovan in practice and I watch how he throws the ball, he has that same competitiveness that Brett Favre has. He wants to win. He can improvise and make things happen with his feet. And hey, that's the future of the Philadelphia Eagles. Right, present and future.
All right, Antonio, thank you very much.
All right, Jaws.
Back to you, Boomer.
All right, Jaws, Antonio, thank you, and lots of smiles there. And look, because Donovan McNabb can make lots of smiles for you.
Well, anytime you start talking about the Eagles offense, you're going to talk about Donovan McNabb. What a better guy to put in focus, and he's our extra point tonight. When you look at what he's done and how he's matured over the course of his 4-year period under Andy Reid, you see his ability to withstand pressure. That pocket collapses, he gets out, he keeps his head up so he understands that he can either hit somebody downfield or get the yardage that you can get. Here again, out in front of a play, trying to throw a block, helping his teammates. That sells you to your teammates as a leader. This is a ball that maybe he would have thrown downfield, tried to make a play out of at some point earlier in his career. Now he knows, throw that ball out of bounds, line up for another play, make it happen the next drive, the next series. Do what you have to do to make this team win. And I think he's as good a quarterback as there is in this league right now.
And I think what Antonio could compare is the growth. You know,
that's correct.
There every year to watch Brett grow, and now look at Donovan grow. 287 passing. San Diego and Arizona on the field, 130 degrees. But it's a dry heat in Arizona. Cardinals ball, Jake Plummer. Okay, it's Martae Jenkins. Touchdown. 65 yards. It's 7-0 Arizona in their home opener. Now, Jake Plummer picked off by Marcellus Wiley from
Columbia.
Bumbling, but not stumbling. What? Then makes a good what? Look at the big fella. All the way down to the 6-yard line.
You know, we talked about how comfortable a defense can get. Marcellus Wiley dropping off into coverage right there. And you can see he has some sort of skill position in his background, the way he carried that football.
Played skill positions in high school and early on at Columbia. That set up a Tomlinson run. Thomas Jones did that. And Ryan McNeil recovers for San Diego. Second quarter, Drew Brees. Little flip to Steven Alexander. Gets a block, sheds a tackle. And he picks up 19 yards. Second and goal, a couple plays later. And their LP, LaDainian Tomlinson. 14-7 San Diego. Early fourth, same score, Scott player. Carlos Polk with the block, and it's a safety. Special teams for the Chargers. Here it is again. Right up the middle. And so it's 16-7. Jake Plummer now knows he needs a couple of scores. And Donnie Edwards, one of those fast linebackers, picked up by John Butler, picked up by Marty Schottenheimer. Touchdown, 23-7. Big hole for Thomas Jones. He had a huge game last week at Seattle. He's down at a 9. After 3 incompletions, Plummer down by 8 to Marcel Ship. But the Ship did not come in for Arizona. And San Diego Superchargers. They're 3-0. They beat Cincy, Houston, and Arizona. Marty Schottenheimer's teams always beat the teams they should, Tom.
Yeah, and we realize that Marty in his last 14 games is 11-3 with this team, and last year with the Washington Redskins.
And Drew Brees, his numbers don't light you up except for one number, 3-0. Saints and Bears. Those teams both 2-0. Jim Miller, Bears are 2-0 for the first time since Mike Ditka was their head coach in '91. Aaron Brooks leading the Saints 2-0 night. Full sun next day, and the sun would come into focus immediately for Leon Johnson in a negative way. You already tell he's having trouble. Saints have gone 20. On to the fourth quarter. The Saints, with Jim Haslett as the lead, almost
Missed tackle when you know that you're the last line of defense. It cannot happen.
the New Orleans Saints go into Chicago, trail 20-0, go into Champaign, and beat the Bears 29-23. This team is 3-0, and Jim Haslett, with the job that Jim Haslett has done. First of all, let's sum up here, Tommy, what the Saints have done. They've won at Tampa Bay, okay? They've won against Green Bay, and they've won